Hi there, how are you? This is Bridget with Divine Essentials. I can't see the little timer, and I just want to make sure. Okay, alright. So I have the camera set up a little bit differently. I took a shower after my class, took like a little power nap, and I just wanted to check in with you guys really quickly. So we'll just get some energy to see, like, how's the Divine Masculine doing today? Oh, we have the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Swords. And on the bottom of the deck is actually the Nine of Swords. Huh. All right. Well, that seems like a big shift from yesterday. And I'm looking at the bottom of this deck, Fear, which I actually had pulled out earlier, and I got that card. So for Divine Masculine today, it doesn't look like such a great headspace. Holy shit. And on the bottom of that is Three of Swords. Wow. Okay. So let's see how Divine Feminine is. She's not too bad. We got the Nine of Wands, then the Empress, and then Justice. Okay. So let's see why Divine Masculine's energy is like that. Page of Cups. Okay. Wow. I'm just going to grab one from here too. Divine Masculine. Maybe not from here. Is there anything in here for him? Maybe not. I just don't feel like there wants to be anything. I'm going to try this deck. Oh, and on the bottom of the deck right now we got Judgment. Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine. Huh. Looks like the whole deck. The one that's jumping out at me is the one we had the other day about balance. But I'm obviously going to do that again because that's like the whole deck. But this energy is interesting because it seems like they went from a really good headspace to feeling kind of shitty rather quickly. And, you know, what it's about looks like it's about an offer. Maybe not feeling like their offer is going to be received. Maybe not feeling their offer is good enough. But it's like yesterday they were feeling pretty good about themselves, feeling good about their offer. We have the Gateway here. So again, that could be like that energy of entering back into the feminine's life. So something has got them up in their head today. And I feel like it's about their love offer. They're feeling like their love offer may not be enough. Their love offer may not be accepted. And that their gateway back in is kind of like blocked today. But it doesn't feel like it's blocked from, you know, outside influence, because this is all head, you know, like this energy is all up in the head. The swords represent like the strife within our mind, and they don't have any good stuff, you know. The Eight of Swords, they could even be, some of them could actually still be feeling like constricted by third-party situations, maybe work, maybe codependency with some sort of addiction, or having a wife or having another person that they're with. So it doesn't feel like it's something they want to be stuck in anymore. And they could even be feeling this way towards their feminine. They could be feeling like bound to this connection. And it's not like they want to be that way, but it's kind of like they feel like they're bound to it, but like that in the same way, like what do I do about it, you know? It's actually interesting because before I came on, I was having this like little epiphany moment. I had done a private reading earlier in the week for a feminine, and the masculine that I picked up on had like bipolar energy. And I started thinking about it like when I was younger. They had said, you know, when I was like 12, and my primary care doctor was like, oh, I think she's bipolar. So they gave me Prozac. But that medicine actually made me suicidal. And any time I was ever put on anything like that, it actually made me suicidal. So I had like the opposite effect. of what it was supposed to do. And I have suffered with depression back and forth throughout my life, but it wasn't until I came to this work that I was able to kind of like balance myself out without needing to, use drugs or alcohol or some sort of escapism to feel better. But the thing about that too is like some of these masculines may actually be, if you feel like your masculine isn't in a karmic situation with a person, that they have a karmic situation with alcohol or a drug or just even like belief or ideas about themselves, because depression all stems from in the mind. It doesn't mean that they're self-medicating. It could just be that they're codependent in that behavior of I'm up, I'm down, I'm up, I'm down. And it all stems from those sneaky thoughts in the back of the head that tell you you're not good enough, that tell you you're crazy, like all those bad thoughts. And it's really, I feel like the energy work can really help with depression, but becoming the creator of your reality really helps with those thoughts, because it's both, it's like you have to get your mind right and you have to get your energy right. And your energy is impacted by your mind, so it really all starts within the mind. Anything you're thinking, anything that's up in your head, you're creating it throughout your physical body. And so it feels like, we saw this energy yesterday, this really awesome energy with masculine. And now today, it's almost like they've reverted back to this energy of, I'm not good enough. Why am I stuck to this? Like, what the fuck is this all about? And it could really be from like being overtired too, like sitting up, not knowing what the hell's going on, wanting to make their offer, not knowing if it's a good enough offer. And so it propels them into this situation of depression, anxiety, and could even put them back into some old tendencies of like trying to numb it out with alcohol or whatever. But the thing about alcohol is it's a depressant. So if this person suffers from these things anyways, just having a drink is going to increase it. So they may feel numb or okay in the moment, but by the end, like the next day, it's just going to perpetuate more of this fucking toxic bullshit. But again, they could really overcome this through healing their energy and through healing their thoughts. And it felt like they were doing good, okay? But, Divine Feminine, you're probably mirroring in some way too. Like, think about how you've been feeling. Because I feel like we're so connected to our person. I'm not saying that like Divine Feminine's running around miserable and self-sabotaging her, especially if you've done this work to rise up into this Empress energy, which feels like what they're saying here. It's like this person may have very well been here before. I know for me, my life, it was like that. And this connection has been like that for me, where it's like I can be feeling good and great about so many things and then go into a place of judgment about the connection and like spiral out of control, and really feel like, oh, I'm not good enough. What's wrong with me? Like, why aren't we done yet? Like, this should be over. And it's those beliefs that perpetuate more of the separation and more of the misery. But no matter what, no matter who's in this energy, the other person's going to feel it energetically. And that's why I feel like Divine Feminine has the 9 of Wands in her space, because she's feeling this energy of her masculine. So it's interesting because today I woke up late. I never got to take a shower before my class. I was like so freaking drained, so tired. I came up here and I had to force myself to take like a salt shower because I've been like using the salt bath to really cleanse my energy. And I had done, big activations all day. I even had like, it was a teacher class, so they had to practice on me. And it was like, I was still so drained. And then I came up here and like had to force myself to get into the shower instead of just like going to sleep. And then I actually fell asleep for a little while, forced myself to get up and eat. But my energy was so low, and there's no reason for it within my mind today. Today was a good day. We were doing good stuff. And like the energy of the masculine was great yesterday. And now it's like, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what happened, buddy? What is wrong? Like, you're good enough, like, come on. but I'm sure Divine Feminine, if you're tuning into this, you're either resonating with it or not. But it's really funny because I was thinking, I must have been tuning in to the reading before I came on, because I was literally thinking about that reading. I have never had that come up in somebody's private reading before, where I was like, wow, this person feels like they're bipolar. And it's not that I'm saying that like that they are bipolar. I'm not diagnosing anybody. It's just that that's the energy of that person. It's like we're okay 1 minute and then we're down, and then we're okay another minute and then we're down. But it really felt so good. Like they felt awesome. So that's why it sucks to see this today, is that they could be really in this bad headspace. But it doesn't, I don't really feel like any of this is necessarily directed at their feminine. It feels like they're a little upset about the connection, because it is a binding thing. Like spirit comes in and is like, hey, you're stuck to this, you know? In feminine, we've been there. We've been in that thing where it's like, why the fuck can't I just break free from this? Like, why do I care so much about this person? And then, you know, we go to that place, we go to the gateway of understanding, oh, it's a twin flame, okay. And then we go through those sneaky things. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. They're never going to love me. Maybe. I don't know. Well, I feel good today. No, I don't. And I really feel like this whole thing with resting, like if you're not getting enough sleep, if you're not having enough, even when you sleep, like, and you're feeling this way in regards to the connection, because Divine Feminine, we've all been there. We felt like a fucking page. Like they didn't want anything that was in our cup. We felt like we were just bothering them, trying to think of different ways to say stuff to them, and they would just like never come back, or, you know, if they did, it was like a short-lived thing. But it was because of this headspace, okay? Like you can't have a healthy relationship with somebody else when you're self-sabotaging, when you're not feeling good enough. So it's like, you know, Divine Feminine, if you've been mad with your masculine or anything, try to forgive them, and try to send them some love right now, because they really need it. And it, you know, I feel like this could actually be coming up too with the spiritual growth that they may be going through. This is on the bottom of this deck that we pulled the gateway from. If they're going through an awakening process and realizing like how constrictive this world is and how ego is, and then trying to fight the ego, but then getting sucked back into ego. And you, like, when I first had my awakening, there would be days like I would stay up for like 3 or 4 days just binging information and having downloads, and then I'd pass out for like 2 days. Like people would be like, is she still asleep? You know, like my mom would come to my ex's house and be like, is she alive? Because it was just so intense because of the information and the downloads. But they could actually be having a lot of that stuff going on too. And if you've went through that, you understand it, you know how intense that is. And how, like, there's fear factors too when you first go into your awakening. I feel like there's stages. Like for me, there was stages. It was like, oh my God, this is awesome. And then I was like, oh my God, the entire world is trying to kill us, and we're like all puppets, and then I kind of came to terms with like realizing like, okay, that shit kind of exists, but only if we focus on it, only if we perpetuate more of it, if we give our power away to it, it's going to take over our lives, and we're not going to grow. So then I came to the understanding like, yep, shit, there's bad shit here, but the whole purpose of us awakening is to change it, not to be a victim of it. So, you know, some masculines may be going through the dark night of the soul. Some masculines may just be feeling like really, you know, especially with Valentine's Day coming up, it's like they may be feeling like they haven't grown enough. Like they may feel like, oh my God, this Empress knows all this stuff about this and that. And they could be feeling unbalanced. They could be feeling like, they could also be feeling guilty with this Justice card and this Judgment card on the bottom. So, you know, there's that element too, which would perpetuate all the rest of this, of feeling like I am not good enough with this cup because I don't know if she's going to forgive me. Like I've done some pretty shitty stuff, and they could have that weighing heavy on their mind. And it's like they want to go maybe offer their cup somewhere else, but they keep getting brought back to this because it's like they could be so guilty about it, or guilty about the times in the past that they gave their cup away to others. But I do feel like, you know, some of these masculines, whether they're in karmic situations or dating or whatever, it's like they really feel like they're still bound to this connection. And today, I mean, it doesn't seem like such a great place, but it's because I think a lot of this is coming from depression, anxiety, and guilt. I don't think it's just like, I hate her. And think about you too, like in the past when you felt this way, like, how come I am so bound to this person who keeps hurting me, who keeps sabotaging this, who keeps me up all night long miserable? Like, why don't I have enough for this person? How have I not grown? And so I really feel like some of these masculines could be in that place that feminine has been at many times. And also, feeling like their approach into this gateway, which could be like Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day can bring up a lot in people, especially if they're alone. It can make you feel like, what the hell, like I should have somebody, or I would like to have somebody on that day. Like I've been trying not to go there because I'm obviously not going to have anybody. And I was like, it's going to be fine. I'm trying to hold on to faith, Stay calm, trust the good in yourself and others, see the light in the world. Like, it's just another day of the week. We don't have to let that take us down. And I do plan to do something special for you guys on that day because I know it's not going to be easy for people who are in separation. But, oh, and I just saw this. You are never alone, otter spirit, and it's like a heart. So, no matter what's going on with your masculine, and this is number 42, which adds up to 6, just know you're never alone. You guys share a soul at the end of the day. Like, no matter what's going on with them, like, try not to take this on. And if you've been feeling like down energetically, like if you've been like, oh, I was feeling great, I was up in my Empress energy, I thought that I was going to get some justice and that my masculine was coming back, and then, maybe they pulled back in some way, maybe you had communication and they pulled back, or maybe you felt like they were coming, but then you maybe felt the shift in the energy, or maybe you see this and you're going to be like, oh my God. Try not to go there, because I feel like what they're showing us this for is that they need help, okay? They need you to stay in that spiritual knowing and understanding that you can't judge this connection ever. And this isn't something to take personal, okay? And if you start taking it personal, you're just going to get yourself down in that energy and vibration, and then you're not going to feel good. And it's not going to help anybody in this connection. So I really feel, just trust that justice and balance will come when it's meant to. You don't want to go into an early union and then go back into separation. And that's why I've been very, careful with all of this, because I am not reaching out anymore. Like, I am not going to do that until, actually not ever, I am not going to reach out. I'm going to allow that to come to me when this person feels that what's in their cup is sufficient, and that they're not going to go into this place of being like, wah, about it. That's fine. I would rather wait. And know that the energy shifts moment to moment. So just because they're showing up in this energy right now doesn't mean that tomorrow morning they're not going to wake up and be like, I'm better, or at least back up, because it doesn't, it really does have that bipolar element to it, where it's not that they're crazy, they're not whatever, it's just that they're being affected by their thoughts. And divine feminine and divine masculine, we're affected by each other's energy. So if your person's feeling shitty and down, you're going to feel shitty and down. And I felt so today that it actually makes sense to see this. I don't think it, mine wasn't up here, mine was in my energy. But if you could be the feminine feeling that way and your masculine could be feeling this way, but it really does make sense. You guys saw how I pulled it. I feel like these masculines are feeling kind of bound to the connection, bound to this way of thinking, bound to these behaviors that they've done, probably have some guilt surrounding it, feeling like their love just may not be enough to overcome whatever has happened. And divine feminine, you're probably feeling it, okay? You're probably feeling their stress and their anxieties and their, insecurities. And even though you've risen up into the Empress energy, it's like these things can still impact you because you're empathic and you share this energy connection with them. But because you've done this and because you're not partaken in things like this in the past anymore, you're going to get your justice, you're going to get your balance, and just stay in that headspace of trusting and having faith that this is all part of a process of growing. It has nothing to do with just a love story. It's about your spiritual growth. And every time something like this goes on, you birth another level of yourself into healing. And, look at this as progress for them, that, You know, they're wanting to do something, and if they're feeling guilty, that's a huge shift for a lot of them, because in the past they weren't even like able to realize or recognize that they may have done something badly. Okay, we don't want them to be judging themselves, but we do want them to realize that the behaviors in the past can't be like that. So you may get your justice now. You may get this person that actually shows up in a way that isn't going to be like the past. And judgment is that like final horn being blown on the connection. It's like they could be really having these awakenings and these understandings, so that when they approach you, you don't have to deny them away. They're coming back for justice. They're not coming back to perpetuate more of this bullshit. And they're going to have to realize what happened before they can clear that up. You know, they're not going to come back and apologize if they don't realize that there's anything to apologize for, okay? So try not to go to a place of judgment about this. Try to stay in that place of faith and knowing that everything's working out the way it's meant to be, and that this is actually, I think it's like an okay energy. It's not like, it's in their head. They got to get out of their head. So let's see where it's going. Let's see if we can get a better message for where it's headed. We have the Emperor. So it does feel like this message, you know, the Emperor is somebody that's like in control of their thoughts and they're logical, but they're not like getting taken out of the like craziness, okay? So it feels like this masculine is going to get his thoughts together. He's going to come to this realization of what he needs to do to bring justice to this situation. And on the bottom, we have the Three of Wands, which is like, some people look at this as seeing, you know, somebody waiting for their ships to come in, but this is also maybe somebody that's getting ready to head out on a journey. So feminine, you could be waiting for these ships to come in, and he's getting ready to come out towards you when he gets over, you know, whatever's going on in his head. Oh, and we got the Ten of Cups. So it's like, this is going to go in a good way. Try not to go to a bad place within your head. Don't try to mirror them there. And if you've been feeling shitty energetically, do something to raise your vibration. Stay out of the trigger zone within your own mind. You know, don't trigger yourself within your brain for no reason. And then the Two of Wands, we know this is somebody that's, again, want maybe inspired ideas, things like that, trying to make a decision on what they're going to do as they go forward towards their Ten of Cups. So it's like they're going to figure out the way that they're going to approach, but right now they could really have a lot of anxiety surrounding it. And it does seem like eventually they'll get their shit together and figure out exactly what it is that's going to bring justice to the connection. So I hope that this assists you. I will talk to you guys when I can, and I will be back on my private reading soon. So in Monet. Oh, and I will be answering emails again soon. Many of you know that I had to do the 3-day, the weekend 3-day class that I taught. And so if you like it, hit the like. If you don't, you can hit dislike. If you'd like to donate to the channel, there's a link down below. If you'd like to donate a tarot deck or an oracle deck, there is an Amazon wish list. And I think that's it. Oh, if you want a private reading, you can email me. I am on a 2-week wait, and I have emails to answer still. I just haven't had any downtime with teaching that class. I just wanted to give you guys a little something. So yeah, in Monet, namaste. Now I have to get back over here to the button.